Hey guys, it's me Meteor. Boy, it's been a long time since I did a Let's Play. In fact, can you believe it's been 10 years since I started uploading Kirby content on my channel? The first thing I ever uploaded on my channel that was Kirby related was a Let's Play of Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. A lot has changed since then. For example, when I first played the game, I was going to talk about how overrated the game was and how I liked Kirby's Dream Land 3 better. Ended up being that I liked this game a lot more, and I really respected the charm this game had. And now I have a lot more knowledge and a lot better recording equipment, so I want to do this game proper. It's been a long time since I did a Let's Play, so I hope everything goes okay, especially with a new microphone and everything. But we'll see. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy it, and it'll help me see if there's still an interest in this type of thing for my channel, because, well, analytics and YouTube. It's a whole different subject, which I don't really feel like getting into right now. Either way, here we are at Ripple Star. Boy, it sure looks happy. Same with all the fairies over here. Look how much fun they're having. Including Ribbon, who seems more detailed than all the rest of them, but she's the main character, so that's completely acceptable. But there's a dark, ominous cloud taking over Ripple Star. Whatever could it be? And there's Queen Ripple, who really deserves another game, or just more respect in general. She hasn't been referenced since, which is quite a shame. Even Ribbon's been referenced since, which surprised me, honestly. Oh no, there are 3 Dark Matters chasing her, knowing that she's running off with their one weakness. Fun fact, those 3 Dark Matters have their own names, apparently. I am surprised by that, too. I forget what they are specifically. They're like some kind of Japanese names, but either way, that leads in to the game. Let's go ahead and delete this file. And let's go to the options here. I can't change the options at all? Okay, there we go. Options. Settings. Display. I like this display better. There are other ones too. Here are all the displays you could choose. There's digital one if you like digital. You have Kirby's Dream Land 3 crayon style. You have Kirby's Epic Yarn style, which didn't exist yet, but still, don't tell anyone that. We have this. Crosses and knots, or X's and O's, depending on which country you're from. And of course, there's the standard. I like this one though. I'm just a big fan of blue and light blue. But whatever. Let's go ahead and begin. Yes, I know how to use Kirby's copy ability. Thanks. Either way, Kirby's just enjoying himself just fine until Ribbon smacks him right in the head and face plants him. What are the odds that out of all places she falls right where Kirby is sitting, and then immediately after, a comet also hits him in the back too. One of the crystal shards, which she apparently shattered and it looks really sad with. Funny how all the shards are still like perfect shape like that, not any of them are kind of like cracked or maybe like split in half. Well then again, guessing by the way the twos merged, they just became larger crystal shards, so maybe they have some kind of magical presence that keeps them the same shape always. Either way, Kirby is willing to follow along with Ribbon and continue on and make things happy again. Can't have a crystal shard completely broken apart. Either way, level 1, Pop Star. And here we are, beginning. Gotta love that awesome music there. Very catchy. I listen to that. And thus we begin. One thing I really love and appreciate about Kirby 64 is the way the camera moves. Basically, it moves kind of and shifts depending on where you're going and how the whole stage is laid out, which is nice. You don't see that in other Kirby games. Now, you might see that in modern Kirby games against bosses where the camera could pan, except in Star Allies. But either way, here it does that throughout the entire game, which is really cool, and no game's really done that since. Either way, of course, the gimmick of this game, of course, wait, no, hold on, let me go back. Backtrack, is that you could combine abilities. You could take one of these, you could make a larger fire, you can combine 2 of the same, make one larger. It's a phoenix. Let's get rid of that. Or you could combine them with a different ability entirely. Just take fire and needle. And that makes one of the worst abilities in the game, Archer, except the not fun version from all the modern Kirby games. Let's get rid of that. It's really hard to aim, and by the time you finally do aim it properly, it's not the best. Either way, I love the way Kirby also kind of shifts. Like, look at that, the way he kind of flips over. It's kind of a neat, like, physics effect. I like that. It's really neat. I actually hit it. Amazing. And you make a Maw, which is from Dreamland 3. Or is it from Dreamland 2 as well? I don't think I remember a Maw in Dreamland 2. Maybe it is just Dreamland 3. I think they did, of course, made reappearances in later Kirby games, but still, doesn't really matter. Our first crystal shard is literally sitting right there for us for taking, and that's it. Just give you an idea of the whole collection thing. This was before we had little guides telling us where and how many we collected so far. I don't remember if that's in modern Kirby. Oh yeah, pretty much there's no little tracker saying, hey, you have one, but it was the second one in the game, where it's like the second one you collect, kind of like Return of Dreamland and other modern Kirby games. Doesn't really matter, not worth talking about right now. Let's just grab this and continue on. Now here we'll see a mini-boss. All mini-bosses in this game are just larger versions of enemies that are also in the game. And all they do is spawn enemies of said themselves, and that's it. That is the mini-boss. Very, very difficult and very original, exciting battle. And those things are called NZs, by the way. By the way, let's see. Needle and cutter. Did I already show that off? Did I show off needle and cutter already? No, I don't think I did. Needle and cut. Oh yeah, duh. I did. Definitely did. Don't need to do that anymore. Already forget. I've only showed off like 5 abilities, and I don't even remember which ones I showed off already. Man, we're off to a great start. Shotsos. Of course, they shoot off very slowly, but they still exist in this game. Bronto Burts. And these. Ooh, bomb. Give me bomb. Now, if you take bomb, and you combine it with fire. Alright, try it again. Fire. Can you give me fire? Good. Good. Yes. There we are. Fireworks! Whee! Look at the fireworks! Sparkle, sparkle! And speaking of sparkle, there's this crystal shard down there. If you noticed, we could destroy it with bombs. Doesn't matter what you combine it with, as long as bomb is in your inventory, you'll be able to break that down. And that's the thing you'll notice in this game, although I broke it way too easily. All the things in this game that you have to break for crystal shards are color-coded based on the abilities in the game. There are 2 exceptions to this rule, which I will get into much later, one of which stumped me for a really, really long time. You may know which one that is. Either way, here's Model D. I must say, I like the way that little ding of the crystal shard kind of goes in beat with the music. It's like a nice little tidbit, like a nice little thing. I don't know how to explain it. Either way, it really sets the mood. And I love the way the music also changes pace when other characters enter the screen too. It's so cool the way they presented this game. Either way, being taken over by dark matter, Waddle Dee becomes a Waddle Doo, but not really, because Waddle Doo shoots electricity and Waddle Dee cannot. And some people see this and be like, oh, Waddle Doo is dark matter, right? Well, considering this one can't shoot electricity, I don't think this is a real Waddle Doo, so to speak. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because the way he fights is just like he fights in Superstar Ultra, except even less pathetic. More pathetic. I got my terms incorrect there. All it does is rush towards you, trips, shoot stars back at it. And if you're unaware of how I play Kirby games by now, or haven't seen a single Let's Play of me in my life, your life, whatever, basically, I play Kirby games by not using a single ability for bosses. So I always play them head on. One thing that's kind of a shame about this game is that these little early bosses here, like that Waddle Dee, don't show up in the boss rush at the end of the game. Kind of a shame. Not like they're very difficult to begin with, but it would be a nice little addition. Doesn't matter, let's just grab this crystal shard and continue. Be gone, dark matter. Your time is no longer welcome here. Look, Waddle Dee's very thankful for him. He even wants to follow along and help. He even jumps over the fence. Look at him. Look how eager he is to help. Such a brave little fellow. Gotta love him. And here you'll also see cards. That's the one you really want to get. Basically, these cards are collectible and have little enemy info on them. There are a lot in the game to collect. And even if you beat every level in this game and got a by the way, you could get duplicates as well. But let's say you collect a card at the end of each level and you get a different card each time. You'll still be nowhere even remotely close to having the full enemy album. You pretty much have to go through World 1, with double fire and just breeze through it constantly and hope you land on the card every single time, and it is extremely tedious to complete. It is not worth it. Either way, let's just continue on to level 2 or stage 2, whatever, and begin. I love the music in here. It's so beautiful, calming, relaxing. Everything, like the whole setting is just really nice. There are even like little dandelions here, kind of just like blow off in the wind. Kind of a neat effect for the N64 days. Get away from me. Get away from me. Either way, cut. Okay. Cutter plus bomb. There we are. Worth it. Gets an awesome ability. Shuriken. Shuriken. Come on. There we are. Aha. Take that. And that. You can show a third shuriken at fire. Of just a giant ball of fire. You could do that too. Look. Oh, that was a nice little double shot there. Nice. Take that. Come on. They have like infinite range too. Look at that. They can go anywhere. It's perfect. Probably one of the coolest abilities in this game, admittedly. I didn't show off stone yet though. I probably should do that before I continue. I don't allow me to get rid of this ability though. But fine. It's for the best. It's for the viewer. Here we have stone. Stone, you just walk around like Kirby. If you take 2 stone, it's literally just a larger rock Kirby. Combine that with bomb. And you have an extremely powerful weapon. One that can destroy all the enemies on screen. With a bit of a catch. If I could show it. It also damages you. But there is a very interesting way of avoiding that. If you duck down at the right moment... Well, that didn't go according to plan. I was hoping to kind of hit it just in the center there. But you have a little Meteor'z helmet there. See? Duck down, little Meteor'z helmet. Kind of the same one this is the same kind of helmet you wear when you're in a cannon in Kirby Superstar Ultra. Or Kirby Superstar in general, I guess. Or at least on the icon. I'm not sure if you legitimately wear a... There we are. See there? You're pervious to... No, wait. Hold on. Gotta go back for that. Actually, I think, need to grab that spark. Spark! See this? You can walk with spark. You can go different ways in different directions. And a second spark will also just create a larger field. I'll show that off too. But first, one of the best abilities in the game. Wait, no, that's needle. That's not what I'm thinking of. We'll get there later. I'm thinking of cutter electricity. This just turns you into a tick. Which is still kind of cool, but the range is extremely limited. It's cool to hit stuff from underneath, but hitting anything that's next to you, you have to be like legitimately right next to them for it to even work. However, this ability, let's take that ice. Let's take the ice. Combine it with spark. Take the spark. Combine it with... Alright. Fine. How about this? Let's go further down. I'll find ice somewhere. I need ice. There we are. I swear, if you would have used that freeze on me. You get yourself a refrigerator, and you can recover health at will. Take that, Rotom. Yeah, I used that joke before, but my goodness, seriously, how do you... That looks just like Wow, that... Just created an arrow that killed all my food. How dare you? You're pretty much invincible. You can create your own food 3 at a time, and eat them all so long as they're laid out in a straight line and not hit by another enemy. You can live forever. There's not even a limit. Like, I can see if there's like a cooldown period, but there's really not. Either way, Waddle Dee is super helpful there, and going to do the whole log rolling thing to move this swing for us, this bridge. I mean, we could have done that same thing or just even floated over it, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, no, we couldn't float over it, which I'll show you why in a reason. Either way, we couldn't collect these stars if we were the one rolling it, obviously. Let's go jump down here, grab that, and float back up. You'll notice there's a limit. There's a limit how high you can float and how long you can float. In this game, anyway. Let's just get rid of that ability. How did I get that one, but not the one right next to it? I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Do not float all the way down, because there's one up right there for you. And a maximum tomato, if you want it. Because there's a mini-boss. Once again, it's just a larger bouncy. Who bounced over the enemy. Alright, well played. You need to hit her 4 times. That's much more than the 3 that NZ took. Out of the way. Crystal Shard, yay! And thus we have another cutscene. Hey look, Adeline. She's drawing something. Not really sure what she's drawing there because, well... Hey look, shiny. See, look, there's nothing on there. What was she even drawing? It was literally a blank canvas. She was that just like a dry paintbrush that kind of, all that paint that's on there now, all the colors just kind of dried on and she was just pretending to draw? Either way, she, of course, Dark Matter takes it over and then she just draws single enemies that you can inhale. And she does that for pretty much the entire fight. But, of course, this is just a level 1 boss. I was about to say world 1. I'm like, nope, worlds are called levels, and levels are called stages. Which still confuses me on a regular basis for Kirby. And then she draws something sensitive that we'll never see. What horrible creature, being could she have concocted and drew? We'll never know. We'll never know. Either way, then she draws Ice Dragon, who isn't any more difficult than before. In fact, he just shoots ice blocks at you and can kind of jump over you as well. That's it. And it's dead. And then she draws Dark Matter, which, when you think about it, doesn't look too much different from Drasha. Interesting. It's a different lore topic for another day. Please watch the Kirby Kid and Artist video. Shameless plug. Either way, he does the dive at you. And it's gone. Now for this, Psychic. And she's gone for good. Until we grab this Crystal Shard. Yay! Look how pretty it looks. And Adeline wakes up and realizes, well, I'm not sure she realizes much of anything. She's probably just wondering what happened, honestly. I love the way Waddle Dee and Kirby interact there. The way they give each other high fives. The way they're traveling along as friends. And now we have Adeline as a friend, too. Man, look how dedicated Waddle Dee was with his little angry face. Gotta love that little brave guy. Alright. Get that card. Got it. Haha. Will I collect all the cards? Probably not. Anyway, how much time do we got here? You know what? This is the first episode. Why not? Let's just continue off and finish off the complete thing. Might be longer than usual, but it is what it is. Could jump over that. Aw, I missed. I want to show off 2 bombs. Because it's kind of fitting considering the enemies are getting them for bomb right now. 2 bombs makes 3 missiles. They home in too. They home in on targets and then kind of just go random from there. It's kind of a cool ability. Now, in later Kirby games, if I'm not mistaken, food would just kind of float back. Like, if it's on top of something, it'll fall down if you hit the block. Here, it still kind of just, like, floats up there. Man, that is one dedicated bouncy. See, I like the way this game works. See, it doesn't look like just, like, random platforms. You go on a bridge, you're going inside a castle, and the camera shifts like that. I miss that kind of thing in Kirby games. It really added, like, a level of depth. Here we have Ghost Knight. I believe that's its name. It's just another needle. No biggie. We do want to make sure we get Cutter, though. That is required for something later. In fact, I'll just stick with this. That's fine. Probably gonna be good for this area right now, with the enemies coming in from the foreground, background. Kind of nice, cool little perspective going on here. By the way, just make sure you have at least Cutter of some way, shape, or form, because when you go in here, well, no, too late, too early. That's actually, that's not where we want to go yet. But thinking about it, I think you probably might better get 2 Cutter. Thinking about it, because we're gonna need that though. So let's take 1 Cutter. Exit out. Exit back in. Wait for it to... You annoy me. Alright, let's not bring out the weapons until you decide to hit me afterwards. There we go. Now we got 2. I don't think that would be necessary, but just in case, if you notice, 2 can break that. If you have just 1, it won't go down deep enough to grab that. Either way, you'll see tons of Gordos and platforms step underneath them that way. If you go back this way, you'll see a Maximum Tomato. Very handy. Always nice to have, for sure. So you need Cutter, and you need something that's going to be big enough to hit down, hit platforms underneath you. That's what you need for the thing coming up. This is probably the most helpful of them. If you go over to this side, you'll see a sandwich if you also needed it. But where we really want to go is right down here. You'll notice that platform. You would need something to break that underneath you, and if you had what I had before, you would not be able to do that. So, there's your crystal shard. Let's just get rid of that. And look, Adeline's gonna draw us something. She draws us a 1-up. Very thoughtful. Because they're at full health. I believe if you're not at full health, she draws you a Maximum Tomato. And if you just float up here before you go any further, there's a crystal shard hidden there. That is an easy one to miss if you're just one who comes constantly to the right and don't think of ever going left, ever. Probably not a good way of playing the game, but I mean, you could if you really feel like it. Oh, I don't, well, actually, this is probably not preferred at all. I would have actually preferred Needle to Cutter. Cutter just, I do not like how slow it is in this game. That's one thing. At least the you know what? I don't even need ability. I can just get by without one. Thanks. And here, you kind of like swing around to get on which side you want to. We have fire. You don't really need anything really. You pretty much just want to climb one of these and climb all the way up. Oh, that's not the one we want to go on to. Oh, there's an enemy that we haven't really, we don't see too much of. Where'd it go? Huh. Well, it disappeared. It's fine. You'll see this ray of light. That's the one you want to go up. This one right here. Good old King DDD. Not gonna lie, I think this is probably one of my favorite designs of King DDD in the series. I kind of like the way he looks here. He has like a nice little charm, little smug look to him. But now they made him look more, I guess, normal. I guess he was probably inspired a lot from Smash Brothers, but I don't know. I just like his design and art style in this game. It really does. I really did like it. It's a shame they changed him up literally every game, but whatever. And it's very odd to fight King DDD when he doesn't have his famous theme. It's still a catchy theme regardless. And of course he's sleeping as well as he's attacking. I don't even know how he failed from that. And then of course he goes into phase 2, and similar in vein to every other Dark Matter Trilogy King DDD fight where he floats. And that is from Kirby's Dream Land 3, those little orbs. Let me get an angle where I can see stuff properly, as in not this one. This is a thing where modern Kirby games did better than this game. The fact that the shift of the camera goes that in your benefit. Pretty much it goes to where you can see things properly. Here, it just follows a strict set pattern. I'm doing terrible. Where it's kind of hard to see things if you're not at the right specific spot. It never follows you, it follows wherever you're walking. But either way, I almost died. Almost died at level 1. Look, everyone's all happy and List leaves him. Yeah, keep looking tough, DDD. Yeah, you definitely showing. You show him. Nope. D knows there are bigger fish to fry, so he joins along and follows. This is gonna be a tricky one to get. What? Dang it! Aww. Well, there you go. Alright, with that, I think I'm gonna leave it off there. I'll save the boss for next time and go a little bit further in the next world, or level, rather. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.